Portia goes into labor alone, and every second counts. Oh, darlings, we are back with the story that has been building all week, and the moment that the weekly preview has been teasing has finally arrived. Portia is in labor. In that house. Alone. And this baby is absolutely not waiting for anyone to get their act together and show up. Let us sit with the full weight of this scene for a moment, because it is genuinely terrifying and genuinely beautiful at the same time. Portia is in the house she once shared with Curtis. The house that holds the memory of a marriage that has been under enormous strain. The house where she built a life and then watched pieces of that life start to shift in ways she could not fully control. And now, in this house, in this moment, her body has made a decision that overrides every other conversation happening in her world right now. She grabs her stomach. She cries out. She nearly goes down but catches herself. And she says out loud, to herself, to whoever might be on the other end of a phone, to the empty room around her, "This baby is coming right now." And then she is on the floor, towels nearby, in the position that every person watching at home immediately recognizes. She is pushing. This is happening. Right now. Now, Portia is a doctor. We keep coming back to that fact because it matters enormously. The knowledge she carries about what needs to happen in these moments is not theoretical. She has delivered babies. She understands the process, the warning signs, the steps that need to be taken to give both mother and child the best possible outcome under difficult circumstances. Her fear right now is absolutely real and absolutely valid, but she is not helpless. She is a woman who knows exactly what her body is doing and what she needs to do to work with it rather than against it. What we do not know yet is whether someone arrives. Whether Curtis comes through that door at exactly the right moment and ends up holding his child in a way he never planned but will never forget. Whether Isaiah, who made that pointed declaration about being a better father, ends up standing in that room and carrying the weight of that claim into a moment this raw and this real. Whether Portia gets through this entirely on her own and emerges from it with something she never expected, a kind of fierce, private pride in what she was capable of when the world stepped back and left her to herself. Any of those outcomes carries its own particular drama, and any of them could reshape the complicated triangle of Curtis, Portia, and Isaiah in ways that last well beyond this single episode. What matters most right now is that mama and baby come through this safely. And Port Charles is holding its collective breath. Anna goes to Jocelyn, and Carly puts Britt in her place. Now, darlings, this middle segment is packed with conversations that land hard. Some of them with warmth, some of them with the kind of bluntness that only Port Charles can deliver in quite this way. We have got Anna on a mission with a rookie agent. We have got Carly saying something to Britt that is both harsh and genuinely necessary. And we have got Valentine crossing paths with Curtis in a meeting that nobody entirely expected. Let us start with Anna, because this is where things get genuinely layered. Anna is operating on multiple tracks simultaneously right now. She is healing outwardly. She is performing stability for the people around her. And she is also following something, a pull, a mission, a direction that the voice in her head keeps pointing her toward. And that direction has led her to Jocelyn's hospital room. She sits across from Jocelyn and tells her she needs her help getting across the finish line. And Jocelyn, who is held in the same cell as Anna, who found the message Anna carved into the wall with her own hands on that specific October date, may be the one person who can give Anna the confirmation she needs that her experience was real. Not a break from reality. Not something manufactured by a fractured mind. Real. That confirmation matters enormously for Anna's recovery, because you cannot heal from something if the people responsible for treating you have convinced you it did not happen the way you experienced it. Anna needs someone who was there. And Jocelyn was there. What Anna does with that confirmation, how it feeds into the mission Peter keeps whispering about, is where things get complicated and concerning. Because Anna's instinct to investigate and act is the same quality that has made her extraordinary for decades. But right now, that instinct is being guided by something that is not trustworthy. And the line between Anna pursuing the truth and Anna being steered towards something dangerous by a hallucination is razor thin. Meanwhile, at the Metro Court, Britt and Carly collide. And Carly, being Carly, does not soften what she has to say. She tells Britt directly to stop acting like the world owes her something and to fix her life. That lands hard. Of course it does. But here's the thing. Underneath the bluntness, there is something true in it. Britt has been released from custody. She has been given a second chance at a life she thought was ending. She has a future that is genuinely open in ways she never allowed herself to imagine. And standing in that future, demanding the universe apologize for what was done to her, while completely understandable emotionally, is not the same as actually moving forward. Carly is not wrong. She is just saying it in the most Carly way possible. Whether Britt hears the truth underneath the sharpness, or just hears the sharpness, is going to determine a lot about what her next chapter looks like. Kai sees Drew moving, and the clock is running out for Willow. And now, darlings, we arrive at the storyline that is heading toward its most dangerous and most consequential point yet. Because Kai made a visit to check on Drew, and what he saw in that room has set a clock ticking that is going to change everything. Drew is moving. His hand curled into a fist. His feet shifted. Small movements, but to someone watching closely, unmistakable. The paralytic that has been keeping Drew in that locked-in state is losing its grip. His body is doing what bodies do when they are strong and determined and being fought by something that was never supposed to be permanent. It is building its way back. Kai does not know the full truth of what has been happening in that house. He does not know about the drug. He does not know that Willow has been administering it deliberately. He does not know that the stroke was manufactured. What he knows is that Drew was shot by Willow. That piece he does have, and that Drew being in Willow's care with that history between them has always made him deeply uneasy. And now Drew is getting his mobility back. And Kai's mind goes immediately to the darkest possibility, that Willow, realizing Drew is recovering and therefore becoming a threat she cannot manage, might do something to stop that recovery permanently. It is not an unreasonable fear. It is actually a very well-reasoned fear given everything Kai knows. And the urgency of it is going to push him toward Trina, because Trina knows too. Trina is the other person carrying the weight of what they both saw and heard. And together, these two young people are going to have to figure out what to do with what they know before Willow figures out that the window she has been operating inside is closing. Because Willow is desperate right now in a way she has never been before. The medication supply is gone. Sidwell is behind bars and cannot help her. The black box containing the evidence she needed has vanished. Drew is waking up. And the leverage she was counting on to keep him quiet simply does not exist. What she does next is the question that is going to define this entire storyline. She has medical training. She knows what certain substances do. She has already crossed lines that most people would never approach. And cornered animals do not make careful, measured decisions. Kai and Trina are racing against something they do not fully understand, against a timeline they cannot see clearly, toward a man who is fighting his way back from the inside while the woman responsible for putting him there is deciding how far she is willing to go to keep him quiet. Drew is not giving up. And darlings, neither is Port Charles. This week is delivering on every single level. Portia bringing new life into the world in the most chaotic and brave circumstances imaginable. Anna chasing a truth that is being filtered through something dangerous inside her own mind. Carly telling Britt the hard thing that needed to be said. And Kai standing in a doorway watching Drew make the smallest possible movement, a fist, a foot, that means everything. This is General Hospital at its absolute finest. And if you are not watching every single episode right now, honey, you are missing something extraordinary.